It's time for the final showdown against the Holy Grail, the culmination of all of mankind's desires made physical form, but also warped and twisted by their own laziness and indolence. It's pretty much the entire game has been building up to this point, which is certainly how it's felt, right?
So we're going to kill God. Is that right?
We are going to kill God. I mean, I think it's been made abundantly clear that this is an evil god created by mankind, but it is still a god in its own right, and that should be cherished.
Yeah, it's a real mixed-up cup.
It's a real mixed-up cup. And before you even mention it, no, Igor is not the cup. The cup just masqueraded as Igor for the entire game until Igor came back in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same thing.
Okay, so we're taking on this cup, which is God, which is an evil god that represents laziness and indolence.
No. It represents all of mankind's desires, but it's been warped and twisted by indolence.
Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah.
Right, I mean, as you say that precisely, humanity itself was for the Holy Grail to be a god that would rule over them.
Yep, and hence we gotta destroy it.
So is it what is its name in Japanese? Like,
it is Holy Grail.
Okay.
Say hi.
Okay.
It is very much a literal translation, and I mean, I guess that makes sense. It does in fact look like a giant cup. The big evil cup is in fact a big cup, and it's also got like Mario 64 hands next to it. But you know, those don't really do it. It's just for decoration.
Okay. So now we're about 2 minutes in. So we've got about 75 minutes to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yo, we're fighting God. This is not going to be a short, simple fight, I'm sure. It's still being supported by the entirety of all mankind, and it's not like in the time since we left the Velvet Room, we were able to convince people to stop empowering the God.
Yeah, no.
So, I was kind of expecting that we were going to do something like that, but yeah, because like, what are we going to do here?
Well, it looks like we have to cut off humanity from God and then kill God.
But it's like, how are we going to do that? Like, look, the Phantom Thieves have a lot of control over what the public thinks, at least up until the last couple story arcs. But I don't really think that they're, that powerful.
We've got to change the public's heart. We've got to steal the public's heart and then steal God's heart. Or maybe we have to... Is that right? Or are we going to steal God's heart?
I mean, that's what it should be, right? But no, instead I'm just sending Morgana to slice it with his sword.
Also, again, just raise...
yeah.
Raises some questions about whether... The seven temples before the seven palaces before this were necessary, because evidently it all just doesn't matter. We're just fighting God. And
it's just like the entire thing about like changing public perception and everything. No, we're just gonna like cut him.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna send Morgana up there, and he's going to slice them off with his sword.
Well, in fairness, that might have mattered, but because of Haru and her dad dying. And I mean, I know she's apologized, but she could stand to apologize again for that, because that's kind of like that.
What if Haru apologizing was the thing that severed the?
Yeah,
would that even work? By the way, let's take a better look at Satan, the new persona.
Oh yeah. So
are those boobs? Yes.
Yeah, and on Christmas you use Satan. Satan kills God on Christmas, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Also, all of the archangels too.
Well, we
didn't see that obviously in the last episode because that was the English version. But Satan's been my main man for this.
See, the problem
part
is
of the game.
Haru took her character too far. She kept apologizing for killing her dad, and suddenly everybody believed her, and that cut against the Phantom Thieves. And suddenly everyone thought that they did it, even though it was actually Goro who killed. Acting under Shido's orders.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Which, by the way, this has nothing to do with Goro or Shido.
No, it does have something to do with Goro. Goro was the original, of the two champions that were chosen to represent the remaking of the world or the destruction of it. Goro was the destructor.
Yeah, they added some...
Now, did he know about that, or was he planning to do anything with that, or
was that ever mentioned before, like, Igor, as the cup said that? No.
No. And besides, it's just like, was that really... And besides, they also said that Goro was never going to succeed because everybody's too damn lazy to even actually care about what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And once
it.
again, it's just like the entire thing about like changing public perception in the first place. Fuck that. We're just going to cut him.
You know, I do love this, like, just in terms of, like, a ridiculous, like, plot, just having Morgana, like, sneak around the back and cut this off, it makes no...
and it's like, I could have sent anybody, really.
Yeah,
but I sent Morgana because, I mean,
least...
I don't know, he's like the culmination of the human desire of hope.
No, fuck that, it's because he's a cat. And you know it.
He's also a cat, and he's smaller and probably harder to see. Not that I know how this cup sees.
Yeah. Well, it probably...
I mean, this is... What?
By the way...
Once again, Morgana is sneaking around the back so that he can cut off the lifelines that represent all of humanity's desires to God.
Also, I don't know if
so then people can no longer pray to God. He's climbing up a big hand so that he can cut off the lines that prevent people from praying to God.
Oh, but by the way, I just want to say this. It is pretty neat that this is like a panopticon. This isn't just a prison. This is like specifically a prison where, you know, the cup can see everything. It's a panopticon.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually once again, like, goddamn, the visual artists and the like composers, musicians do such a bang up job.
Yeah,
you know, that's actually a thing I can talk about here real quick. In the track for the Memento's Depths, which is a very short dungeon, all things considered, is called Safety and Security, and it is sort of like a melancholic type of theme based off of the like bad things are happening theme that you heard in the rest of the game.
Oh, I love when
it is
that.
actually you know, just like from that the title and like the whole sound of it alone, you get exactly what the dungeon is supposed to be about.
By the way,
it's like, wow, so many talented people working on this terrible game.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, it's one of those things where, like, as somebody who's done a lot of like music stuff, I can tell you, I respect the hell out of anytime that, like, musicians or especially like composers take like
no longer pray to God.
Take a motif and reuse it in an interesting way. I mean, obviously, probably actually the best example of this might actually be like the Palpatine. What is it, like the municipal band at the end of episode 1 being like a different version of Palpatine's theme, like it's the same melody, just in a different, like it's presented joyously.
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
they flipped it from being minor to major sort of deal.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Or, you know, actually the best single example of this that I can think of is the fact that in the Music Man, the 95 trombones at the the front of the band, that's actually the same as the Goodbye My Someone or Good Night My Someone theme, which is like the Sweet Love theme in the middle. Just a little note like that, just for the real music heads out there, the real musical theater heads out there.
I'm sure there's at least one.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, they did a very similar sort of thing in Persona 4 as well for Long Way, the theme of the final dungeon, where they where it's like a much more intense sort of song, but also there's like a piano. The melody is a piano part that is pretty much like the main theme of the game. And it's really good.
Yeah, and I mean,
yeah.
really...
Also, Safety and Security is the theme of the credits for the bad ending. It's like, cool. Once again, a good place to put that, even though, considering how long the credits were, maybe it's something a little bit more interesting, but
Yeah.
Hey, that makes sense. That's like a really good usage of the music there. Whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's one of those things where it just points to really, like, intentional design, like, obviously, I have my problems with the Star Wars prequels, but it's like the music is not one of those. And it's because there's so much thought put into that stuff. Just
Yeah, I mean, I always remember the story of people asking, hey, what is the color of Yoda's blood? Because we're going to see it through his ears now that we have enough fidelity. Now that he's not a puppet and he's like CG, we would actually see that sort of thing. And George Lucas is just like, green? Which, I mean, okay, to be fair, somebody has to make those decisions.
Yeah, yeah.
Still, at the same time, it's just like, you just think about the amount of effort that the people that are making this are putting in versus George Lucas.
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway, we're still beating up the cup, but this time it can't heal. Once again.
It's just a very silly, like, I mean, and,
It's so incredible. It's just... We talked before, they just burned the rule book, which is why it's like, fucking whatever, man.
Yeah, and and we're kind of, I don't know about you, we've kind of talked about this, but I think it works out really well. They should have been doing this to an extent from the beginning.
The big dumb, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like, I don't hate to fight against the big dumb cup.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, oh, man, it is just in the context of the rest of the 80 hours of story.
Yeah, no, it's like, honestly, if you hadn't done that whole stupid stuff with explaining all the rules over and over,
it's such a particular way that the Phantom Thieves have to do this, and now it's just like, whatever.
We can go kill God.
Yeah.
もしかしなくてもやべえだろこれ。これはどうなってる。これが真の姿。こんなのビビんじゃねえ。でも
So this is definitely some Evangelion shit.
I mean, more or less, it's still like a gigantic evil god and everything like that.
Yep.
But now we actually see the entire thing.
It actually looks really
Did you really
cool.
think that beating the big evil cup was going to be the end of it?
No, and honestly, this is really, really cool. Like, just, again...
Now we got it. The god
Again-
of control, Yaldabaoth. It's not the big evil cup anymore. Okay, fine. I guess we'll give it an actual name.
In a weird way, I think what has changed is that they aren't trying to lead with the writing. They're trying to lead with their ridiculous designs. And honestly, that was a great choice. And they should have made
He's a
a lot
good
of it.
choice.
Like, okay, you know what?
But, okay, let's also, address the elephant in the room. The thing that we all know. The thing is very obvious. Game's not over after this point.
Oh, yeah. This is the end of the game, right? Like, this is the final boss fight.
I mean, it should be, but we know there's a third semester.
Well, I think that might just be the Royal, which would be reasonable.
It is. But the thing is, it's not like we launch into another episode. It's not like I choose the DLC thing from the screen. The game goes right into it.
Oh, yeah. No, this is going to be interesting.
So that's actually something. Like, what do you think is gonna happen here? I'm just curious because I kind of know.
So, the fact that we know that there's a third semester is kind of influencing me. I know that on some level things.
I mean, how can it not? We know about it.
Things are going back to normal on some level. I feel like what you're gonna do is you're going to destroy this god and fundamentally.
I mean, the
change
thing is,
the
we
human
might
psyche.
also. There's an hour and 17 minutes in this episode. It's just like there's still also, at least when I was coming into this, thinking there's a good chance that we're just not going to be able to kill the god.
Yeah. No, I mean, so
At least not right now.
So I think you're gonna kill it, and then it's gonna fundamentally transform the human psyche, but it won't matter because the writing in this game is too bad.
Now
for
that's
that
the
to
Persona
matter.
5 answer.
I suppose
I think it would
more-
actually be very interesting to like, you know, instead of just a small epilogue, it's like we're fighting a god, changing human cognition on a fundamental level and everything like that, and we're gonna actually see the aftermath of it.
Uh-huh. And I suppose what people will be like is they'll be a little bit more awakened. They'll be a little bit more like, hey, you know, like in the subways, they're still going to have the exact same routines, but in the subways, they're going to be
Again,
like,
this is
hey,
the Persona 5 answer.
hey, I was just thinking. I was thinking maybe we should have our moral. We should have some moral. We should have a more moral society. You know, maybe that. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, well, can we change the heart on that that bad psychiatrist now? Yeah, I was thinking we could change the heart on that. I think the Phantom needs
Except,
to
you know,
change the heart on that
destroying
bad
this
psychiatrist.
kind of destroys the entire rest of the metaverse and prevents us from doing anything else.
I don't think it's going to prevent us from doing anything else. I don't know. That would be, but that would make sense. But
I mean, we're literally just, you know, think of all the things that we did in Mementos, which has been a lot of the stuff that the Phantom Thieves have actually done. This is the treasure of Mementos and also the god of control, Yaldabaoth.
so we didn't have. The thing is, again, like I hate to like view this exclusively through the lens of Persona 5 being bad, like badly written, but I feel like it's not going to even stop you from going into the metaverse. It might stop you from doing the Mementos stuff, but like I feel like even that stuff is, you know, what about the social links? You have to be able to get to rank 10 in the social links, right?
Yeah,
And-
but there are 2 social links that I have right now that require me to go into Mementos, which no longer exists. Well, actually, it does exist because it's been fused with the real world, but we're kind of doing something about that right now.
Oh, okay, so that's a good question. I feel like.
I like that it's just, you are not even giving it a chance. It's like, you're just like, no, this is...
I guess it could fundamentally change reality, but I feel like they don't have the chops to do that. They would change something for 2 weeks, there'd be a deadline, and then something new would happen, and oh, we've got a new government.
I mean,
so
it's like we
everything
know
is
the
gonna be
Marquis
about that.
Palace is still there, true.
Yeah, exactly, and the Marquis Palace is kind of still in the background, right? If we were fundamentally changing human, and I guess I could see it being something where that leads to something with the Marquis cognition, but honestly, the writing so far has just been, it's so arbitrary and focus groups and everything. I feel like they don't have the chops to do that. They don't have the chops to have something influence another thing in the future, which isn't even chops. That's just like basic causality. But I don't trust them to do that. I don't trust this to have any effects that are going to be lasting. I know it's going to go back to the real world, and I feel like it's going to go back to the real world in such a stupidly normalizing way that it makes you wonder why we even did that, or what the point of this was. You know, even like we were asking what was the point of the 7 previous palaces if we're just going to fight a cosmic evil that has nothing to do with that. Well, I feel like we're going to do the same thing after that. It's just going to be like, well, why did we fight that cosmic evil if it wasn't going to change anything fundamentally? We're just going to do the same palace shit. And then I guess Goro is going to come back. And I have so little faith in this game to just do the most basic causal, you know, A to B stuff.
I'm honestly shocked at how right you are.
Wait, what? Are you serious? I was like jokingly, like I'm trying to find like an optimistic.
You know, it's like I don't want to spoil it or anything because we do still have a lot of the fucking game left to go. But like, yo, this is. I gotta be honest. As far as like palace rulers go, Yaldabaoth, the god of control, the physical form of all of mankind's desires, made twisted by their indolence, is probably the most inconsequential palace leader since Kaneshiro.
That's so weird. Like, because honestly, so
Wait, because
this
like,
is such a cool fucking fight. Okay. Like,
yeah, but it's gonna have about as much impact on the story as Kaneshiro.
I mean, this is really wild shit. Just like look at that thing. Like it's a cup. It's still like a cup, but it's also a god, and it's also like what the fuck is that thing Like, it's so
Oh, and look
crazy.
at this. Look at this, by the way.
It's got a
Oh, shit, he's got a gun.
It grew an arm, and it has a gun?
And it's got a fucking gun.
Holy shit, dude.
It's a love gun.
You know, that's like a bit, like the Comedy Bang Bang, like Martin Sheffield Blakely, like the ABC guy.
I am not familiar, but
no,
I'll
yes,
trust
you are. It's the album like The Look of Love or something. You know what the band that I'm talking about. You probably don't know the parody of it.
Yes,
but it's basically just like, and then he shoots you with a gun, and the gun is love, and the bullets are individual hearts. You know, just
yo, but that's like literally what just happened.
Yeah.
Except it's a god gun that he pulled out on like his marionette hand.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's like I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, it's like this is Persona 5 is a game where killing God just doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I just like I was considering it's just like should I even mention that or should I just let people experience the disappointment? But you guessed it so completely and thoroughly.
I hate that I guess that like I haven't. The only thing I know is that there's a third semester that Glory returns. I mean that's as much as I know ahead. And
here's the thing: it's just like this is gonna be Persona 5, the death of God and rebirth of the world. Still not the ending.
There you go. Okay, that's nice. Also, this episode, speaking of which, we're only a quarter of the way done with this, basically. We just
Oh, yeah. We got almost 55 minutes left. This is a big-ass fucking fight, my dude.
Yeah. I mean...
And it's like, I did not know that the God was going to pull out a gun and shoot me with love bullets.
Now, I kind of ask you this pretty, occasionally, like, how... Is this a cool fight, like, for you, like, as playing this?
I gotta say, way too much health. But actually, it is very different from the Shido fight, where in the Shido fight, my plan was just to reflect back a lot of the damage. But due to the fact that like the gun and everything is its own separate health bar, and actually it reflects a lot of, you will just nullify a lot of the things that reflect back at it. Basically, the reflection is going back to the gun. It is not going to Yalvada. So
okay,
it's like you can't use that same strategy here. And also, additionally, the love bullets that shoot out individual hearts do inflict you with unique purgeable afflictions for this fight in particular. Because, like, yeah, lust does not appear anywhere else, and Morgana's like final healing skill should have been able to clear any sort of unique affliction, but it didn't. I'm not entirely sure what lust was supposed to do, since it didn't seem to do anything. But some of these other ones, as you're seeing right now, are way more devastating.
Yeah, the bullets are individual hearts. There's not a trigger of love. You go on dates. It just.
It's like, yeah, but
and now you get another arm.
The bell's not as interesting as bringing out a gun.
Do not ask for whom the bell tolls. It's a second gun.
I mean, if it was, God, if he pulled out like fucking 10 guns over the course of this fight.
Enter the gungeon.
I mean, you know, a gun that shoots hearts is like legitimately. There's a shotgun of love in that game. Except it shoots out like teddy bears and chocolates.
That rules. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Oh, it's super dumb. It has good synergy with the shotgun of hate, which allows you to dual wield. But it's a good game.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and honestly, like, you know, we're talking about Persona 5 is like, because we both are at the point where we just obviously hate the writing and stuff. Because we actively have contempt for everything that the writers try to do. I love everything that they're trying to do visually here. Like, just this ridiculous, stupid...
The knowledge, though, of what comes after. It's like, I've been cursed with it. You all have been cursed with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guessed it so perfectly. How could I say anything else?
I wish, like, it's shocking to me, because I was kind of, like, ranting in the most, like, you know, like, cynical and pessimistic way possible. Like, I was trying to be, like, optimistic. I just couldn't figure out an optimistic way to get from here to there. Like, I was like, well,
I
maybe
mean, and
it
I was trying to like lob you some softballs, like, hey, we're gonna see the aftermath of what it's like when we beat, and it's like, no, you just powered right past that with no fuck Persona 5.
No, you can't give me your lies. Actually, I've been surprised a number of times in the last like several episodes, so I shouldn't say that.
Right, but that's because this is Persona 5 Gaiden, the story arc that's non-canon to the rest of it.
Yeah, and honestly, like, if you just take this ridiculous story arc, I mean, I'm not even, like, obviously, like, the writing is a little bit overwrought with, like, the, human fallibility and, the indolence and stuff.
Fallibility, you mean laziness.
Yeah, no, I mean, but, like, human...
They have not been shy about, like, this is because everybody's been lazy.
Yeah, no. All that, like, is very ridiculous and stupid, but it's like, I mean, the individual story arc where you just have, like, if this had been our introduction to the Velvet Room, Igor, and so on, I think it could have been,
I suppose that is the one thing that is gonna, those are the people that really care about this.
Like, why did the frame story did nothing for us with Igor. Like, that entire frame story was just like...
I mean, I guess it led up to this.
No, it didn't. I mean, not for the first 6 or 7
though. I mean, that is in fact the case.
I'm talking specifically
They've been talking about ruin. They've been talking about rehabilitation the entire time.
Yeah, kind of. In a very completely abstract...
That Lavenza thing that we saw from the beginning of the game, that did in fact happen. They definitely did not mention any sort of Holy Grail or whatever, but, you know, in retrospect, I mean, in retconning...
They were purposefully vague about that because they hadn't even begun to think about what it would be like.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they probably wrote. I think okay. So for both frame stories, with Silent Kojima and the casino and stuff, and the Igor Velvet Room thing, I think they put in a scene at the very beginning that was like at the end of the process, but then. The stuff in between that was all just like the whole thing where they introduced next villain. For example, Kaneshiro is then you went after Kaneshiro, and then you met who cares?
Mad Jen.
Yeah.
We didn't, but you know what I'm saying.
Like and that whole thing that was all like duct tape that they put on there, except for the very last or the very first one. Where they're talking about where you actually do the interrogation, where they start the interrogation, where you go to the casino, all that stuff, and similarly for the Velvet Room, they had like one scene at the beginning where it wasn't just duct tape; it was genuinely they had written it and then they went back and made a scene like that. Everything else, where Igor talks vaguely about a rehabilitation, felt like it could have been written at any time, and it very much was like. And that's why it always felt completely, arbitrary or, you know what I mean? Like, just pre-written, like, kind of pre-written.
It's true. The word was ruin. We have to prevent mankind's ruin. Well, this is it.
Pre-written flavor text, I guess is what I'd say. Yeah, so anyway, I'm kind of ranting, but I do think that the fact, they put something at the beginning. Well, why were there 80 hours in between? What was that about? What did that add up to?
Fighting Shido.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of. Well, sort of. Shido.
Yeah.
I had to figure out who Shido was from a campaign poster, but
Yeah, and I like that. After it's so tightly written that Ryuji didn't know who Shido was, even though they watched the news together for 6 months. Oh yeah, who's Bill Clinton? Yeah.
No, well, he didn't need to know.
Who's George W. Bush? That Bush fellow who's always on television. Is he like a politician or something?
Yeah, I mean, and he was such an important character that he had every thing delegated to the unnamed police commissioner who died unceremoniously.
Yeah.
In a side scene that didn't really make too much of a difference.
Well, yeah, and then immediately was displaced in the evil hierarchy by like 3 unnamed characters.
Yeah, by Shido himself, who was then displaced by 3 unnamed characters, who was then displaced by God.
Yeah, a little bit of a big jump there between the unnamed 3 characters.
At the same time, it's just like we know that it's like God is actually kind of a bit player in the game.
Uh-huh.
You know, like normal stories.
Yeah.
Most people tend not to be very religious in most stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's my excuse.
God is a woman and she's my wife. That's a mistake.
Well, anyway, interesting fact. We are being inflicted with each one of the 7 deadly sins in the order that we fought them in the game. So, you know, started out with lust, on to vanity. Now we're on gluttony, kind of Shiro's one. Doubles all skill costs, and also he gets a big sword.
Vanity? Vanity of vanities. Everything's vanity. It's fucked up.
I mean, basically, from what I understand, that was supposed to be the same thing that we actually happened in the Madarame Palace, where, you know, when we got painted over with a black paint, that it basically just made it so any hit against us did critical damage or did the weakness damage, but it kind of was able to kill all of his stuff fast enough that he never actually attacked with it. So
and I love this where you're going through the.
Oh shit! A book.
I love this. Like, again, just, you know, there's going to be a 4th arm that's, you know, also completely ridiculous. So
that is the 4th arm. The book.
Oh, well, wait. So there's a gun. I'm talking about like the extra arm. So there's a gun, a bell. Oh, okay, there we go.
Gun, a bell, a sword, and a book.
Okay. Okay, so
and
yeah.
They made it a bell, book, and a candle, but okay, whatever.
But yeah, like, okay, I love this shit where you're doing like these ridiculous things where you're going through the 7 deadly sins. The only thing is, like, you don't need the 80 hours previous. Like, you didn't need to go through the Kaneshiro Palace. What was that, greed?
Kaneshiro was gluttony.
Oh, that's right, because he's a banker.
Okamura is greed.
Yeah.
Look, it's all very arbitrary. I think I said, like, all the way back in, I don't know, the Kaneshiro arc or something, that it's just like, oh, he's like a king of the castle. Like Madarame was a king of a castle. Like Kamoshida was a king of a castle.
Yeah, it's like, well, I think Okamura is a capitalist pig, and so
and he's like the king of his own castle.
Yeah, and then Madarame is Madarame, so Madarame has to be.
Well, we can't be sure of that, or if he was doing anything bad in the first place.
We gotta look it up. We're gonna spend 2 weeks figuring that out.
And then 80 hours later, fuck it, God. And then 1 hour from now, fuck it, doesn't matter. Persona 5. You card. You extraordinarily long card that is, like, literally killing me right now with exhaustion, trying to just power through this horrible game.
Can we talk about how the game is killing you, or do you want to talk about that?
I am, like, I'm sleeping incredibly erratically right now because I'm just like, it can't be that much longer. It can't be that much longer.
So yeah.
And I'm still doing, like, the whole captioning thing and everything.
Oh, by the way,
you know what the recording session was for this? 2.5 hours long, because I'm just like, okay, we gotta hit like the end.
Yeah. So this game is literally killing you, and it's destroying your sleep schedule. It's completely, you know, it's kind of destroying your sanity. I would guess, not just because of the sleep
to a certain extent. It's just like I'm like I don't know. Like, it's very clear, you know, considering the rest of the channel and everything like that I've become completely obsessed.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, you got to think, like, the fact that there's this, like, so much content, but it's also, like, so futile, and you know it's futile. Like, it's kind of
it's just like, hey, this is cool. This is also completely futile.
It's a Sisyphusian task, except, you know, we can imagine that Sisyphus is happy, and we absolutely cannot imagine you happy about this game.
Yeah, like when Sisyphus, like, I mean, it's like the boulder doesn't roll back downhill. It's more like we did the Simpsons thing.
Okay. The Matterhorn, whatever. You get to the peak, etc. So anyway, so the game is
where it's like I fight God and I'm like, finally, and then it just keeps going.
So the game is literally killing you. And also, I just want to say, shout out, happy birthday, Quincy.
Oh, it's Quincy's birthday. Happy birthday, Quincy.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
But yeah, you probably won't even see this today because apparently it's on a backlog. You're still trying to catch up. Understandable.
Yeah, have you seen? That's another thing that's like killing you. These episodes are just getting longer.
They're getting longer, and they're
getting longer as I get more desperate to get to the end.
Yeah, and it's like I think we're doing a pretty good job of trying to commentate, but there's only so much. There's only so much to say. And
yeah, I mean, I just outright gave up and started spoiling what's going to be happening next.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have any.
We're not even there, and we're not going to get there for not in this episode.
I gotta say, I remember around episode. Obviously, we did episode 69 with the where we had stories and stuff, and I know we've done around episode 60. We had bits that we would pursue for the entire episode, right?
Oh, we did that weird fucking mafia thing.
Yeah, we.
Oh,
did.
by the way, the sin of greed is actually just a normal it's like the stun thing. I guess they ran out of unique ailments to give you.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta think because it's Morgana's here.
Also, they ran out of arms because he just brought back out the gun.
Yeah, okay. But yeah,
not as good as the love gun, the greed gun.
We used to be able to hold bits together for half an hour or 35 minutes, but we're at 36 minutes and we don't have the patience or the mental fortitude to continue to do these bits for long periods of time. So we're kind of just temporizing. I've been doing this for the last 5.
Now we just talk about Taco Bell.
We're just stuck in a loop. Yeah. I think what was that thing I said? Baja blast me into the sun. That's where we're at.
Exactly. Does that even mean in this context? I don't know.
I don't know. It's.
Hey, the fact that this guy's a big marionette is cool. Even though it's once again the hands he had on the side of his arena, he actually picked those up and those are his hands, but he doesn't use those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just kind of a generic Taco Bell themed death wish, if you want to have a death wish, but you've also got a sponsorship going. I don't. I mean, we're not even.
I don't. No, we're not even monetizing this. Yeah. What's even the point?
Yeah, just so
oh no, my heart's changing. Except it's not because that doesn't matter anymore.
Also,
there's a bit that I just gave. There's a bit that I did before that I just gave up on. We did that in the Sheet-Up Palace.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and also, minor thing I want to point out is just I really like the fact that it's just this weird dawn, out.
Oh yeah, what's up with that?
The sky is very weird because you think about it if you've ever seen a sunrise or sunset and if you haven't, check it out. Check it out sometime. But you notice, it's kind of it doesn't look exactly like a sky, and I feel like it's got this kind of surreal thing. The clouds in the highest part of the sky are red, and the part that's closest to the horizon and closest to the sun is blue, and so it's kind of this surreal, day of wrath kind of thing. But they don't just
even though, as we know, below us, it is currently raining blood from a lacerated sky.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's really, that's the explanation, yeah. But just, that's a very surreal visual representation of that.
Well, it's pretty cool for something that doesn't matter.
Yeah. And I just love, honestly, this guy looks really good.
Yep, that's a good skybox. This is the level of commentary that we're at now.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sitting over here being oh man, he doesn't even use his hands. Look, man, no hands.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're halfway done with this episode.
We are
almost exactly.
Yes. We just about 20 seconds into halfway done with the episode.
Yeah,
we are almost. We are more than halfway done with the health bar on the god. Now, as you know, in any good RPG, not only does the boss have to be multiple forms, but also you don't actually kill it by depleting its health bar. That's that's nonsense. Well, until that point, hey, don't just strip my buffs. Attack me, you coward.
Honestly, I think it would be cool is if you confused it, whatever the status effect is for confusion, and it had like birdies, like or flying around above that halo that it also has. Like I think that would be cute.
When the halo is already made out of wings, would that really? That's actually weird. I mean, I guess I thought that originally that was supposed to be like the representation of the Grail, but I suppose he does have a lot of wings around him as well. Yaldabaoth, the god of control, and also the god of inconsequential plot lines.
Kind of looks like a dreidel too. Like it'd be cool to just like have that top part of it start spinning. Just.
I mean, it is. It does spin.
No, I don't mean.
Oh
like
no, you mean the head.
I don't mean the halo thing. I mean like the whole body. Or does that spin too?
No, unfortunately not. He's very stiff. I mean, I guess that's because he's like a large doll. Because that's actually. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I get it.
He's very top heavy.
And also, he's a big doll. Okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I the metaphors are not lost on me.
Mm-hmm. Also, I like how just exhausting this battle is. This is a really, really, really long battle. Like.
This is a
God.
really long battle.
Uh-huh.
Envy. Envy is probably the most devastating of each one of the various unique status effects that it gives you.
Uh-huh.
Because basically, anytime that you heal a party member or buff a party member that isn't the one who's envied, the character goes and attacks them.
Yeah. No, the only thing that's
which is an interesting idea. Doesn't really matter because
The only thing that's really redeeming about this is that we don't have Goro in our party to be envious of Haru for having a dead father.
Exactly. It's like, oh, thank God, because I would have taken both of them, unfortunately. Haru is still a good combatant, even though she's not doesn't really shine nearly as much here.
Mm-hmm.
The powerful gunshot attack is pretty good. But,
These gods don't need punishment, they need punishment.
They do, and that's why I have been... Well, I mean, it's not only Gunishment, but also Ryuji's God Hand ability, which I suppose only makes sense. I don't know if you've noticed that he's been shooting out a big gauntlet that punches Yaldabaoth pretty regularly.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I just kind of...
I suppose that's a thing.
I'm past the point of, like, retaining new information.
Oh, fair enough. So we got what I like to call bubble commentary.
This is where we're just vamping, and I just kind of say, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, bubble commentary is basically the commentary is on the edge of a bubble, which will pop at any second.
So kind of, it's where I kind of oscillate between the Family Guy versions of, I guess, Chris Griffin and Frank Gumbel. Which is...
Yep, those are your two voices. This is apparently what you sound like.
Yeah.
That's your celebrity sound.
Yeah. No, I can hear it now. Like,
I get compared
because,
to
like,
a lot of people I've never heard of.
I really do sound like Seth Green and Chris Griffin when I do this. I don't know why. It's just, but it is uncanny. Like, I really do sound like it. Just kind of nasally. Which, by the way, nasally voice is not actually from your nose, because if you think about it, you cover your nose to make that voice. I mean, I don't have to do that for that one.
True.
Go into a different register, but yeah, no, it's not your nasal register. It's your oral register. That is actually what we think of when we think of a nasal voice.
So mouthy voice, if you will.
Like, literally, if you want to talk like the stereotypical French kind of thing, you can do that by closing your nose.
Not like the nerdy voice?
Yeah. I think that's also...
There you go.
Yeah. Well, you also want to raise your marriage for that.
My favorite voice comparison has always been somebody comparing my voice to nerdy Goku.
Yeah, and I guess it sounds more like Wallace Shawn at this point. I mean, just that kind of, nerdy intellectual. Yeah, I can do that. Quark. All right. And that's the
anyway,
the Grand Vegas right there.
Back to the God Gun.
I've been watching a lot of Deep Space Nine.
Well, yeah, of course. And I remember, you told... We actually talked about that in the past episode of Persona 5, if I remember correctly.
We literally did.
That I was surprised that, I didn't remember him being on that show.
Yeah. been in a lot of shows like that. I looked up his filmography. Surprising
Oh, absolutely.
number of shows even beyond what I was expecting. Because, of course, I knew about Princess Bride, and I'd watched his work with Andre Gregory, including, of course, My Dinner with Andre and Vanya on 42nd Street, I think, which is a nice...
Not as familiar.
Probably not. It's a really obscure film from 1994 that was like an indie art house film.
I see. Also makes sense that Walshan would be in that.
Yeah. I think it was Julianne Moore was like her first big picture. Whatever.
I mean, that's the whole thing with it. It's like My Dinner with Andre is like the most popular weird art movie that you can name.
Yeah.
It's like, from what I've heard, it's actually like interesting. It's like
pretty
this weird
good, yeah.
introspective look at like 1970s New York through just some very bizarre conversations.
I mean, it's basically it's one big continuous conversation, and it's like, yeah, it's really compelling. It's kind of like that. The Simpsons gag captures it well. It's like ball,
Tell
tension
me more.
observation. Yes, exactly.
But yeah, it's just like, needless to say, it's just like it's not a beginner film.
Oh, yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where if you really like dialogue and stuff, if you really like, character writing,
that is not going to get an HD re-release in theaters anytime soon.
Exactly. It's definitely not a Marvel film unless you really like the parts of the Marvel film where characters express their differing philosophies of life.
Which I guess does happen.
It kind of reminds me of having like a conversation with a rich person, like if you like who is doing all sorts of interesting stuff, and you're kind of like, right. So you just go to all these different cool experiences and stuff, but you kind of seem like the same kind of person that I am, but you just also have these things that you do so you can talk about them. I don't know.
Which is definitely, I'm sure, what the inspiration for like that movie was in the first place.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Like just some sort of I've had a bunch of I'm a filmmaker who's a man about town.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of these weird people doing weird stuff.
Yeah, and Wallace Shawn is definitely like the everyman Michael, even though he's clearly also like this.
Even though he's Wallace Shawn.
Yes.
Pride, get a counterattack, and that counterattack, whenever you attack any part of
How is this fucking battle still going on? I was just vamping.
God, not only is it still going on, it's just like, we got one more phase left to go to.
I've just been...
So Pride, whenever you attack any part of Yalvadoth, it counters by zapping you for about 40 SP.
How do we still
give or
have
take.
half an hour in this fucking video?
This is the hardest difficulty possible. I was like legitimately thinking, should I just like skip to the final phase or something? Because or like switch over to the English version where, being on the easiest difficulty has a lot less health.
Now, I have to ask, so you played this on the English, in the English, in the easiest mode, which I believe you're playing the English version on. Is it just the same number of phases, but it's easier to get through?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I just go through them faster.
Okay. Yeah.
Like you still get all the 7 deadly sins and everything.
It's just that it's not as difficult to survive it, and
right. You just tear through his health faster, so he goes through the phases faster.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's about it.
I mean, I guess just from a basic narrative standpoint, as much as we're shooting on the plot of this game and all the writing and stuff, it's like it is good that you have these phases. Like that is the core of the fight. It's the difficulty.
Yeah, absolutely. They do the callbacks to earlier parts of the game, sort of.
Which, by the way, they totally didn't need to have those palaces. So you could have those 7 deadly sins in this fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not like that really enriched the game experience.
Oh wow! Now you're doing gluttony. That's just like Kaneshiro. Oh my god!
I know, Kaneshiro, the man who lived inside of a bank.
Well, wait, was Kaneshiro? Was it completely because he's fat? Is that what they're giving us there?
Almost definitely.
Oh my god, that's so shitty.
Yeah, because Okumura did not have the money-themed fucking
Fast
thing.
food restaurant. Yeah.
He had the fast food restaurant stuff, but he had greed.
Yeah. Which just
Uh-huh.
they clearly did not think that through. They did not think a lot of basic things through very well. Like if they wanted to have
Oh man.
these villains be the 7 deadly sins, then they really could have worked a little bit harder to differentiate them. You guys.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it's just like I just finding out that it's like Kanashiro's supposed to be gluttony. It's like what?
Was Shido rap?
Or finding out again that like Madarame was supposed to be vanity. You know, the man that had the golden abyss in the second half of his palace.
was exactly. It's like what you think? What was your bet?
Well, okay, Kamoshida definitely fit Lost compared to most other guys.
No argument. Yeah.
That one, sure.
And Shido was rap.
Nijima really envy? I don't know.
Wait, was Shido rap? No, that would be cited.
Oh, you know who Shido was. He's Pride.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, Madarame was very prideful too.
I guess he was pretty prideful, but like.
Well, Shido was very wrathful too, wasn't he?
Yeah. Was Futaba very? Futaba was sloth.
Well,
Actually, Futaba was wrath.
Futaba was wrath? That makes no goddamn sense.
I guess it was probably because of the Wakaba Sphinx.
So who was Sloth then?
Or was Futaba sloth?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm pretty sure that I got like the will seed thing gave me like the ring of wrath.
Now, just to be clear, I don't want to like let the.
Then again, it's just like sloth is not here. It's not represented.
I believe this is the 7 deadly sins.
It's like we got lust, vanity, gluttony. Yeah, it's wrath. It was wrath.
Wait. Futaba
And
was
then
wrath?
yeah, wrath. Then greed. Then greed, and then envy and pride. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, why
Pride sloth, I guess, is not in there.
Now I don't want to. I don't want to let like the biblical concept of the 7 deadly sins off.
That's not biblical. That was not in the Bible.
Oh,
at all.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, anyway, I died. By the way, time to redo that entire fucking 50-minute fight.
Okay, yeah, it was linked to the works of the 4th century monk Evagrius Ponticus. Who listed
I was like, that is a Christian concept. It is not biblical in any way.
Yeah. No, I mean, but
It is
like,
not canon.
I don't want to let this like concept, this Christian concept, it's not very well formed in the first place. Just as far
No,
as
absolutely
theology
not.
goes, it's not like
Which
the
is
best.
weird that it's like such
this
an
is
important
not-
part of this game.
It's neither.
Which psychology and tarot cards.
Yeah, no, and I mean, so what I'm saying is, it's not this incredibly well. It's neither an exhaustive nor a very carefully curated list of sins. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like sloth and wrath are just not on the same level. For example.
What was the original one? And which one did we like? Why do I have the idea that there are 8 deadly sins, even though they're explicitly called the 7 deadly sins?
Well, honestly, I think it's just because it just sounds good, like 7 sins, 7 deadly sins.
This is something that I suppose I should probably like look up and actually get correct in my mind.
I already closed the Wikipedia page about it. Who cares?
Okay, it really doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
At least the fucking horsemen of the apocalypse appeared in the Bible.
Well, the 8th
Not in the way that most people know them, but still.
The 8th deadly sin is being the Holy Grail, is being the cup of an evil cup.
I see. Well, anyway,
An evil
all right,
god.
Haru's still in here because she does have like the big hits and some buffs, even though I probably should have replaced it with like Ryuji or even Anne. I switched out Ryuji with Makoto because Makoto has a full party heal skill.
Okay.
Because Morgana's one, while good, it is a full heal plus strips all ailments, is really mana intensive.
Oh, by the way, I should ask, did you beat this in the first try?
No, I died.
Oh, okay.
Right, not retaining information.
Oh, right, yes.
Right. Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, this could definitely be a problem. And I mean, I guess is, but I don't know. To be honest, despite the fact that I did die in this fight once, it's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't... It just kind of feels like he doesn't attack that much, and he certainly doesn't do, like, all-party attacks that much.
Also, is there anything to the book, or is it just a book?
It is a book.
Okay.
I mean, it's got green pages. I'm supposed to be, like, emerald tablet or something.
Okay.
Maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe it just looks good compared to the golden and white that otherwise is all about this.
What is that muck attack that you just used?
Oh yeah, that's Abaddon, God, the Angel of the Abyss.
Okay.
Again, another classic Kaneko monster design. It's is muck.
Okay.
He absorbs both types of physical attacks, gun and regular attacking, which is why I brought him out in this fight. He's actually also in the Keeploth world, which is the area leading up to the boss here. By the way, it's called that. For whatever that means. I don't actually know what Keeploth means. I know that that's the counter until an abnormality escapes in Lobotomy Corporation, but I don't know what it actually means.
Okay. By the way, this...
Anyway, he appears, this guy also appears as a pretty tough, like, mini-boss type of character that you can fight pretty regularly, wandering around.
This game is a little...
Also, another encounter you get coming up in the Keeploth world is Mara, plus also the two tiny versions of Mara that I fought as a mini-boss all the way back in the Kamoshida Palace.
Okay.
3 dicks, everybody.
Yeah.
It's the Doug trio of dicks. A dick trio.
Yeah, no. That's pretty good wordplay right there. And yeah.
You already got me on the Pokemon.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I do know, like, yeah, Mara is a dick. Like, now I know that. And I instantly got that when you said it.
Yep. His inclusion in Kamoshida's Palace was not surprising. Let's just say that. Even though it wasn't the full version, it was just the tinier version of it.
What is Futaba saying there?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's charging up a big attack.
It's over 9,000.
Yep. It's using the colors of the game. I mean, I guess like the reason that this character Yabba-Dabba-Doo is like white and gold is because it's supposed to be like the opposite of the black and red. Like inverted colors that the rest of the game is.
Okay, yeah. Like what color is the dress?
Clever. Wait, would it be yellow for the opposite? Red? I don't remember. My color theory is not that good. I haven't played The Witness in a while.
Opposite of red is green, traditionally. I think it matters whether it's an additive or subtractive color, but it's green.
Okay, well, never mind then.
I think it might be yellow in, like, a certain additive color. I don't really know that well, though.
I suppose white and gold is also just, like, a good combination of colors.
Yeah.
The holy one.
Mm-hmm.
So white and green probably would have made a little bit more sense. I'm just saying. The game's colors are black and red. Come on.
So we have already gone into this skybox, and now we're doing the actual enemy color scheme.
Oh yeah, we are looking for we are looking at everything on screen and just trying to talk about fucking anything.
Like oh yeah, there's Haru. Her dad died.
Hey, look, that god's got a big gun.
Tough god's got a gun.
What do you want from me here? It's an hour-long boss fight. Hey, look, he's got a book and he's pretending like that's a weapon. That's hilarious.
Sometimes I'd hit my brother with a book, and I'd say, "You just got booked."
That's nothing. We're so close. Please, please, Yalbada. Just go down. I don't even care. A main character has, on pretty much every persona at this point in time, has a skill that gives him back mana every time he attacks. So it doesn't matter if I just fucking go all out. That's for Morgana, but Ryuji was the other one where he always uses just physical attacks. So the pride is actually very not important.
Yeah, well, they say pride goeth before the fall, but it's been almost an hour. It's been an hour at this point, literally, in the recording.
Oh yeah, we just hit an hour. Congratulations,
Yeah.
everybody. Hey, we're done.
Hooray.
Holy Christ.
God
We're
is-
not done with the episode, but we're done. We got 17 more minutes here.
God is dead, and we have killed it. And we've killed him.
Well, not really.
Oh, not yet.
No, he's just getting right back
It's
up.
funny that she says, no, not yet, as I say that.
Well, anyway, Alvadoth, do your stupid thing. We weathered that 3 times already, but whatever, I suppose. Shut up, Ryuji, you weren't there. Well, I mean, you were there, but not in this timeline.
I love that, this kind of thing where Morgana and Ryuji get upset in just the weirdest ways.
Also, just what are you even fucking talking about?
If you're a god, then maybe you should help people instead of hurting them. Well, okay,
I am helping people.
I'll take that under advisement, you dumb cat. What do you think you're doing? What are you talking about?
I mean, to be fair, Morgana's also created of the desires of people. He's basically just Yalvadoth Jr. to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Except Yalvadoth's way more better because he actually represents what everybody thinks rather than just these fucking jabronis right here. Do you want to erase us from the world that much? Come on, stop being so mean.
Yeah. Since you've
Get
been
a much better look at what
forsaken by
Yalvadoth's
the
face
world,
actually is like. He looks like a bird. Which in some ways, I suppose, it's he's got the wings and it makes me question my existence, but you know. Yeah, the world's doomed or whatever in this incredibly inconsequential fucking plotline. No more strength. No strength, not the strength, never again.
I don't know what song is playing here, but it'd be cool if they just started doing "The World Is a Vampire."
There is no music playing here.
Okay.
Just kind of ambient wind sounds.
They mock you for revolting against a god.
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay, this is getting way too edgy and stupid.
Oh, as if it wasn't before.
It was already pretty bad, but now he's starting to talk like Igor again. Okay, that's pretty badass.
He is. He's not. No, wait. I'm forgetting my own stupid things that I said. Yeah, no. From the beginning of the game, he was imitating Igor, and then Igor showed up at the end. It's just, yeah. It's weird to think that the writers are trying to trick you. If this is your first game, you don't fucking know who Igor is.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, but just he could have literally looked like anything or anybody.
God. Shut up, Morgana.
Just do it. And he will in 13 more minutes. All right, this is still happening. Whatever. It's not like you motherfuckers cared all that much about this sort of thing before.
Do something, damn it. You're the police. What do you... Okay, listen. What do you expect us to do? The sky is bleeding. There's a scar in the
Guy's
sky.
bleeding. There's a bunch of, spines everywhere.
Listen, I didn't train for this in the police academy.
I mean, this is Persona. You probably should. Yeah, whatever. Just like hurry it up already.
Those people we saw on the screen a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they were the people
And
that
then-
caused the board meeting.
Yeah, it just like wait, weren't they? Remember the people we were talking about for 6 months? Like that, the only thing that was on the news.
yeah.
Weren't they
It's a-
those people?
Is the like implication that hey Mishima, fucking finally.
Mishima's giving us the black powers.
If only. Come on. It's like Mishima once again is just like, it feels like he believes in the Phantom Thieves, the Phantom Thieves believe in themselves.
Honestly, Mishima is so much cooler than all of the other characters other than Goro. Like, other than, you know, the main party.
No, yeah, but Goro's great, but oh man, our E-fame's rising.
Yeah, and people are
We're gonna
going on the
become so-
website and answering a question about the Phantom Thieves.
Yep.
They're all...
And we are going to kill God through by being popular on social media,
Yeah.
which is hilarious. Oh, hey, this is a fucking bizarre thing to happen right
They
now.
haven't had Sakura meet Mishima, which is really sad.
Yeah, Sakura's never met Mishima before.
Yeah,
so,
for some reason we've included all their stupid, like all your stupid friends got to come over for multiple hours a day. We didn't introduce them to Mishima, you know.
Yeah. Thanks.
And all the social ones are here.
Well, yeah, I mean, like literally though.
This is congratulations.
But it's just like, it's just like, oh, yeah, you also fans of the Phantom Thieves? Oh yeah, I'm like main character's adopted father.
Oh yeah. Wait.
How you been doing?
Well, I run their website.
Oh wow, I hear that's really popular, but also nobody gives a shit about it.
Yeah. Well, we did some merchandising. Not me. I didn't sell any Oh.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about him at the time, so I didn't want to like do any sort of merchandise in my store. Didn't really think too much of him before I found out that my adopted son was the leader of him.
Well, it's my adopted son, and I think my adopted daughter also. Right? Is Futaba his...
Well, yeah, but she's less important. You know, we did that entire thing with like finding out that the Futaba's mother died, and it just kind of feels like. Did you feel like that by beating Shido that it's like we brought closure to that story?
Well, remember that happened over 2 years ago, so it was a really long time ago.
Like, it felt like we brought more closure to fucking main character's thing about pushing him down.
It was over 2.5 years ago. Come on, we need to move forward. Which,
I guess.
just to be clear, it was like 2 years ago. It wasn't like
It was.
she was. Remember when she was a small child 2 years ago?
Yeah, when she was that small child tugging on her mother's dress, only like you know a meter tall. 2 years ago.
She had a growth spurt, and she.
I guess. I mean, she's still pretty fucking short, to be fair.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe she's just whatever.
Anyway, so we're still not done with the
Thank God,
the
shut
cop.
up.
We're still not done beating the. We have another 10 minutes of the cops.
And then another semester.
Yeah. Well, it's only one more semester, unless they release some more DLC.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't think there's any more plot lines aside. Just this is just. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
Everyone believes in the Phantom Thieves now. We killed God. Hooray. Everyone.
Yeah. Like, look at it go, man.
This feels so much like the Omicron ending. Just this.
Omicron ending didn't have fucking Facebook polls and empower the main character. Hey, it's our son.
We broke the
I've been
chain.
empowered by social media fame.
We didn't listen to Fleetwood Mac.
Well, I never really loved this game, and I will not love it again.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Also, we are. I don't have the sound on, but we are literally listening to the windmill. I'm assuming.
Actually, it's more like thunder.
Okay.
Okay, you can see that in the
Sound of
background, and also the lens flare on the camera. What was that?
Yeah, the sound of thunder. All right.
Remember, this is not the end of the game.
And this is like.
No, don't zoom in that far. You can see how bad the textures look. And look, he's even got his own bat wing version of the Halo.
Well, it's because the people believe in us on social media, and that gives us the power to defeat all our enemies.
Yeah, exactly. So I get Super Arsene, I guess.
Including God.
No, including like literally God.
Well, God is only powerful because of the prayers of other people, but actually because Morgana cut the cat, because the cat cut the tendrils, flying people's prayers.
Right. We did. Don't forget that we did literally sever God's ability to listen to the prayers of the masses. Literally.
I mean, this is no dumber than
with a knife.
This is actually about as dumb as Evangelion. Honestly, this is.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh, don't worry. You know, like now we're just the battle's just starting.
The book, the pages are blue now. I'm supposed to get those blue pages, I think. I think.
What?
Well, it missed one of the characters wants blue pages.
Oh boy, missed references.
Yeah, I don't know why it took you a few seconds.
Thanks. What a great way to end this plot line. With that line there. Anyway, I guess I'm the Demon Lord.
Kind of like, so you're literally like a demon. You're Satan.
I guess.
Okay.
Hey, he's actually saying stuff.
Because that kind of makes that whole thing with Mishima and all the social links, that makes that kind of funny. Hey,
the super sin bullet, made of all of the 7 deadly sins.
Like, Mishima's just like, like so enthusiastic about Satan. Like, oh yeah.
Yo, I literally used Satan for most of that fight.
Like, hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Like, how dare you doubt Satan? Like, everybody needs to get behind the Phantom Thieves. We're repping Satan.
Anyway, he fucking shot God in the face.
Yeah, I love
big gun.
These fucking personas all have guns.
Yeah. And, like, literally, no, we shot God in the fucking face with a gun.
Yeah. That's a huge exit wound.
Yeah, well, it was a huge bullet.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Still not done.
Yeah?
What power?
Jeezy, guys. Okay, I know when I'm not wanted. I guess I'll leave now.
Where will you go, Cup? What will you do?
I'll probably figure. I'll probably go get like some liniment or something to rub on my big bullet wound.
I'll find something. Maybe I'll go to a different planet, like Mars, maybe, or Saturn, or the other.
I
planets.
probably need a god.
Yeah, everybody needs a god. I mean, there's always like
somebody's gonna want me there.
Check the job listings.
Ow.
At the unemployment
Did you say
office.
god listings?
No, I did. That's very funny. If I did, I didn't mean to say that. I was
So
thinking job listings.
Hey, look, there's the actual cup.
Ain't that a treasure? Wow, it's so folksy of you to say that.
I mean, he's probably like you, where he's just not retaining any information anymore.
That's true.
Oh.
It'll be like the Stanley Cup. People drink wine out of it and stuff.
Dude, that would be so fucking cool. Yo, if we just had like the cup in the back of LeBlanc the entire time.
Just have like like everyone gets.
Even like the next scene, the main character was just sitting there, like drinking wine out of the cup. Holy Christ, that would be so good.
You know what they do with like the trophies in team sports is typically like the Stanley Cup or something. They will just have everybody gets it for a day. They'll usually bring it back to like their hometown or something, or they'll.
And you just, I've seen people. It's just like they just like ride around the fucking car with the cup in the the right hand seat.
They give it a seat and they go to Disney World and they ride the roller coaster.
Get pictures with it and everything. No, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get that in this game. So I just got a feeling right now. Oh.
The hell?
Guys, well,
is that normal? Is that good? Or is that good when there's
maybe it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Now all of humanity is frozen praising the Phantom Thieves forever.
Hooray. Again, weird jarring transition to anime.
When is it ever not jarring?
Like it is, especially because they've got those like little eyes from the.
Oh yeah, like the high quality animation of the characters at the very start.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
was very good.
Yeah.
Oh okay. I guess it's fine. Everybody's still frozen though.
I think part of the reason.
What?
I think part of the reason the anime is a little bit ridiculous is because, again, this is very Evangelion. It's just because they always have this like really annoyingly realistic style. Like if they just had it like Ryuji like getting like emoji eyes and just like jumping around, it would actually be better. Like, oh Morgana's.
I mean, would it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Morgana's dying now.
I want to say that's a bad thing.
Yeah, remember when I said the rebirth of the world? Mm-hmm. I mean, I assume that Morgana's speaking metaphorically here, because otherwise that would be pretty fucking wacky. Stuff we're being told here.
I'll go to another planet. Maybe the moon.
Not Mars, though. That's Yalbadoth.
Yeah.
You check the god listings and found a good fit for him there. Remember, everybody, this is not the end of the game.
It would be funny if while this was happening, the Morgana's head just kept getting bigger.
Remember, everybody, this is not the ending of the game. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode.
Oh, God. Tomorrow.
Of Persona 5.
This Persona Apocalypse.
I hope you enjoyed this totally inconsequential plot line before we get back to the actual thing of us hanging around at LeBlanc and fucking eating turkey.
Will the Persona Apocalypse never cease?
No.